Hello and welcome to Prairie Pulse. Coming up a little bit later in the show, we'll meet a unique cake decorating artist. But first, joining me now is Dr. Lynn Kovash, the Moorhead Superintendent of Schools. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
As we get started, tell the folks a little bit about yourself and your background, where you're originally from.
I grew up in the Army. My dad was in the Army, so I was born in West Point, New York, and then we moved quite a few times in my elementary, middle school, and in high school I ended up in Panama, then I ended up in Mahnomen, Minnesota, and then I ended up in Moorhead, Minnesota the middle of my junior year. So I graduated from Moorhead High School. I went to Minnesota State University Moorhead and continued my education there, and then I went to the University of North Dakota for my doctorate. And my entire teaching career has been in Moorhead also. I started actually as a playground supervisor, part-time when I was going back to school. And then I was a teacher. I worked at St. Ansgar Hospital. We had a adolescent psych ward, and I worked there as a special education teacher. Then I worked in an elementary school as a special education teacher, some various administrative jobs. Ended up as assistant superintendent and then superintendent. So I've had a long, varied career in our school district.
Well, it sounds like early on you knew you wanted to be in the education business.
Well, I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I actually didn't even know what a superintendent was.
Okay. Well, first, tell us how the school district is set up. How many schools with elementary, middle, and high school?
We have 3 elementary schools, 1 early learning center, Propsfield Center for Education. We have 1 middle school, 1 high school, and 1 alternative education center. So those are our major facilities.
With that said, one of the things, of course, I understand you have a very high enrollment at the high school because it's the only high school in the city. What are the pros and cons of having such a big high school?
One of the cons is such a large population and a lot of people for students to maneuver through. One of the things we did back in about 2004 is we set up a 9th grade center that would help students transition from the middle school to the high school instead of going to this larger school. In athletics, I think one of the points is there's a lot of students to compete with, one of the things we hear. But one of the great things about it is there's so many opportunities for students. They can take classes that other schools may not be able to offer. So yes, there are some downsides to having a large school, but there are some wonderful opportunities for our students.
What are the biggest challenges facing your school district currently?
Probably funding always is going to be an answer that people are going to give, but just keeping current and being able to really provide the opportunities for students. Many of our students, we're preparing them for jobs that we don't even know about, so we have to make sure we have a well-rounded, very broad education. And there's always that, sometimes there's that need or sometimes people want us to just focus in one way, college prep or this or that. And I think it's so important just to provide opportunities to open the world for our students.
Well, that's it. How many students are currently in the school district? And maybe you have it broken down with elementary, middle, and high school. And are you seeing any growth? So I guess 2-part question.
Okay.
Is there any growth? And where is that, if there is, where is that coming from?
We have, at the high school, we have about 1,500 students, about 1,200 at the elementary school, at the middle school, and at the elementary school, about 750 in our elementary schools. So that was one way we tried to be more efficient in having these schools where we only had 1 administrator, assistants, that type of thing. The other question was?
Is there any growth in any of
Growth.
those?
We have really been kind of stable. We'll see some growth, mainly in the southern part of our community, and South Moorhead is where we tend to see the most growth. Our newest elementary school, Reinertsen Elementary, is in the southern part of our community, and that is a school that really is tending to grow the most.
Well, I understand you're particularly proud of the academic scores at the high school over the years. Can you talk about it in terms, I guess, of ACT or scores or other areas that you excel in?
ACT, we are always above the state average. in our ACT scores. We're very proud of those. But even though we're proud of those, there's areas we're still looking at and working on. I was checking our graduation rate today, and at our high school it's 85%, which is excellent for a high school, a 4-year graduation rate. Yeah, we still have work to do. You know, what about the students that are graduating? How do we prepare for their needs and make sure that they can become citizens and ready to work or to go on to school? So that our reading scores at Moorhead High School, a few years ago, there was an award given out by the University of Minnesota because we had good reading scores. We see our scores kind of going up and down. We really do look at the Minnesota Comprehensive Assessments and how can we meet students' needs.
Sure. Well, talk about your faculty. How many employees and
Okay.
yeah.
We have 700 employees, about a little over 400 teachers. So, and our teachers come from a wide variety. Some have master's degrees, we have some doctorates, people with their doctorates on our staff, and we have beginning teachers. And it's good to have that mix. We have people that graduated from our local universities and people that graduated from other universities. And we're really trying to establish that kind of mix, not that we just take teachers from one college or another, but that we have a nice mix of people. I always believe in diversity of thought and ideas. So.
With that, though, do you see more teachers coming in at the elementary levels, or is it just all mixed there, too?
It's a mix. It depends. You know, one of the things facing school districts across Minnesota and North Dakota is many of us that are considered baby boomers are going to be retiring, and then having the teachers come in so that it's not a complete influx of new teachers. Mm-hmm. So it is one thing that we're always looking at. And then people to go into administration. It's not always easy to find people that want to go into especially high school or district administration.
Okay. Well, let's talk about your facilities. Anything going on there? Or?
Our facilities are about, let's see, they opened up in 2004. So they're relatively new. Our two elementary schools, Robert Asp and Hopkins, were remodeled, actually the old junior highs, and we remodeled them into elementary schools. We did at Hopkins, we put in a new office, reconfigured the office space for more security, and so that there was the principal and the secretaries were in full view of who's entering the school. We'll be doing that work at Robert Asp School in the summer.
Okay. You mentioned athletics a moment ago, and then for that matter, extracurricular activities for students. Can you talk about some of the achievements and the opportunities there?
Well, we're very proud of our activities. Football was a Section 8 champion. We always have a strong hockey team. Many of our teams, I probably shouldn't mention because I'll forget one, our athletic teams just really do excel. We have difficulty because we're not in a conference. We have to go out and find teams to play. Our fine arts is just an outstanding program. Our theater program has won the Spotlight Award for many years, just a strong, strong program. Our orchestra, middle school, high school orchestra, is the unbelievable ability of those students and teachers to connect with those students just is amazing. And those are very strong programs. Our speech and forensics programs are very strong. So one of the things we're very proud of in Moorhead is having those opportunities. While we talked about being a large school, we can provide some wonderful opportunities for students.
You mentioned funding, so what about funding for the school district? I know, of course, the state of Minnesota has had some budget issues in St. Paul they've been dealing with. How has that affected the school district?
Well, the major effect in the school districts, our funding has been pretty stagnant. However, last year, we also have what's called a shift. We used to receive 90% of our funding in the first year and then 10% cleanup. That has now changed to 60-40. And so that really puts some strain, especially on the cash flow of a school district. So at our last school board meeting, we had to borrow money to fulfill our obligations as an employer. We did last year, I think it was last year, 2010, we passed an operating levy. We went from $0 per student to $850 per student. That has allowed us to stop the reducing, making all the reductions, and to be able to replace technology, to be able to buy textbooks, to add teachers, to really work on class sizes. So that's something that we've struggled with. Funding right now, we're doing okay, and we're able to really look at some different types of things. Even in Minnesota's economy, there's some good things going on.
Well, good things going on. Let's talk about some of that. Talk about your Spanish immersion program in the district.
Our Spanish immersion program is a kindergarten through 5th grade. It is only for elementary students. They enter in kindergarten because it is students that are fully immersed in another language. They learn, they'll hear Spanish spoken quite often. My granddaughter is in the program, so it's been fun for me to see from that point of view. But it's a program where students are learning another language. They're learning to read and write in both Spanish and English. They learn their mathematics, often in Spanish. So actually, to me, it's what's happening in other countries. Other countries, students are learning 2 languages or more when they go to school, and we're just trying to have that opportunity for our students. We do only have it in 1 elementary school, so parents make that choice. It's a choice program, and they will enroll their students in that program.
Well, before we came on the air, you and I were talking about you have a fairly high Hispanic population in your school. Can you talk some about the programs, perhaps like the migrant education program that are in place for these students?
We do have a migrant education program in place in the summer for students. Otherwise, the students that are in the school district, part of our Hispanic population and other languages, we have what's called an English language learner program. Just an excellent program where students are really receiving that support they need to understand the academic language that they need to be successful in school. It's a good program. As with many of our programs, there's probably more needs than we have teachers to work with them, but we have hardworking teachers. We're looking at other strategies to help support those students outside of the English language learner classroom.
Well, can you talk some about the technology available to the students, and how do you even stay current and on top of this?
That is a tough one. We have great computers. This summer we had to spend quite a bit of money to just really redo our infrastructure and our wireless so that we could start to use maybe some other devices. We have a hardworking staff. I can't tell you how hard our technology staff works, but we're starting to dream about other things. What about the possibilities of using other devices rather than books? Now, I'm an English teacher also, so I have a hard time sometimes with not having the actual paper, but the world that our students are a part of, it's very technology dominated. And what about an iPad where they would have all of these books just right there rather than having a backpack full of books? So we're trying to help with bags too. But so those are some of the things we're starting to have discussions about that wouldn't have been possible even a couple of years ago without the referendum. So we can talk about the more opportunities for our students and making sure that they're ready. And I have a granddaughter too that's in preschool, and she knows how to use an iPad. That's the world that our kids are coming from.
Exactly. Let's talk some about some of this other, the Red River Area Learning Center. Can you tell us about that?
That's for students that are looking for an alternative to learning, are looking for a different way to learn, whether they've had difficulty at the high school, it just isn't meeting their needs. So it's for those students that maybe just need to look at a different way to learn. Independent study is a part of that, smaller classes. So those are parts of it, but that is one site. We do have programs in all of our schools where we really try to intervene and help students before they are at failing or dropping out of school. So it really starts to be a dropout prevention program too. We're making sure we bring students in and can really help with the needs they have, whether it's difficulty with reading, behavior, some of those types of things.
You talked about Spanish immersion, but again, before we came on air, you talked about maybe wanting to talk about your world language.
for quite a few years, the only language that we taught at our high school was Spanish. And during the referendum, we talked about adding opportunities for world language. So last year, we added in Chinese, Mandarin Chinese. We actually have a teacher from China in cooperation with the Minnesota Department of Education and the University of Minnesota Hanban Institute. We were able to have a person come over from China, so he's working with our students. We didn't know if we'd have enough students registering. Many students have registered and talked about just what a great experience it's been. They're learning about culture. They're learning more than just the language. They're learning about China. So I think it goes so far in really, as you know, we talk about flattening our world, and it's a global world. We're really trying to prepare our students for that.
You mentioned, but what is the function of the Probus Center for Education?
Probst Field Center for Education is where we house our administrators. My office is at Probst Field Center for Education. That's a small part. We have all of our early learning programs, so preschool, early interventions, services for special education students before they enter school. We have adult basic education and community education, so it's quite a few different offices. And then the building is designed so there's kind of two round parts of it, and in those round parts is where we have academic programs. Head Start, we also have a partnership with Head Start, and we have Head Start classes there. So it's a good community early learning center.
Okay. And what is Power School?
Power School is a program that grades are part of it. It's a student management system, so it really keeps track of our students as far as attendance, but it has become more than that. Parents can go in and they can check the grades of their students that the teachers have entered. Teachers have websites where the students can go in and find out what their assignment that day is. It gives parents the attendance information. They can find out how much is left on the lunch account. So it's a wide variety of technology needs or technology information for parents, and teachers also use it for their grade book.
And I know bullying has been an issue that gets more press across the country than it used to, I guess. Does your school district have rules on this and consequences?
We have school district policies. We have a policy that was part of state statute that we had to implement in our school district. You know, in policy, I guess I've talked about this before with other groups, policy is a part of it, but it's that implementation of that policy. We did have a speaker in February on bullying, and I've really been thinking a lot about his speech because I do have reports of some students being bullied, and how do we really make sure that students feel safe? And one of the things the speaker talked about was having students color maps of the school where they feel safe, green color where they feel safe, where they're kind of questionable, and red where they don't feel safe. And I thought, you know, these are some things we have to look at from the student's perspective. It's easy from the adult perspective, but we also have to have adults understand that bullying in any form, teasing, any of that just will not be tolerated. We can't do that to students.
Okay. Well, so what are your goals for the school district over the next few years? I assume you have a few?
I have a few. Really to keep student achievement, the highest student achievement for every student, to make sure that every student has the opportunities, whether they come in being able to read, whether they come in needing more support, come into our school, kindergarten needing more support. How do we support those students, make sure that every student, as in Minnesota, we have a new law, every student reading by grade 3, making sure that we're there. But then providing those opportunities for all students to have, you know, to be able to go to a 4-year college if they want, a 2-year college to find a job. That is the goals we have. And then really to remain current with technology and provide our students with that. And it's all about the students, you know, what can we do to make sure that we really do the best we can for our community and for our students.
Absolutely. And we thank you for all that you do. And thanks for joining us today.
No problem.
Stay tuned for more. Darla Julin's love for baking started as a child when she received an Easy Bake Oven as a Christmas present. In 1996, she took that passion and opened Fantasies in Frosting. Today, this award-winning cake artist still loves creating masterpieces to help her many customers celebrate the special occasions in their lives.
My background in baking and cake decorating started when I was a child. I got an Easy Bake Oven when I was about 8 years old, and I still have that. I never wanted to work outside. I never wanted to do anything else except bake and cook. Fantasies in Frosting got started in 1996. I had a few deaths in the family, and it really made me evaluate my life. I decided if I don't open up my business now, I never will. And that's how it got started, and I've been doing it ever since. So I'm starting out with the fondant here. We got this fondant cake for this weekend. I'm hoping this is going to be enough for the bottom tier. I'm going to put it on the sheeter, and the sheeter flattens it out so I don't have to do that work by hand. Okay, so we've rolled it out, and now we're going to get the bottom tier out of the cooler and put the fondant on. Carefully, we've got to pick up the fondant and drape it over the cake. Now we got to smooth the fondant out. I start with my hands, and then I use a fondant smoother. This will get all the air bubbles out, or as many as possible. Square cakes aren't always my friend. I've been known to do one of the layers over 3 times because I wasn't satisfied with it. What I'm going to do now is trim off this excess, and then I'll do some more smoothing. It doesn't look like there's any air bubbles, so we did good this time. When it comes to decorating, for instance, the cake behind me, it would take me about 8 hours of decorating time to finish that cake. Plus you're looking at the baking time and prep time too. So some cakes really take a lot of time to do. Now our next tier is going to be a 12-inch square. This is the support system. It's a metal ring, and then there's going to be 4 pegs on each of these screws, and that'll go into the cake, and that's what's going to support the cake so it doesn't fall down. Push it down. It's got to be flush with the cake, and it is. All right. This bottom tier has the quilted look on there. You either can do it by hand, or you can get a grid like this. Press it into the fondant with your fingers, and then just go over the ridges, and it'll impress right into the fondant. And then you have to match your pattern. A lot of these tools are made by cake decorators that have done this stuff for years and needed items to speed up the process. Alrighty, we're done. We make anywhere from 100 to probably 130 weddings a year, and birthday cakes, all occasion cakes, at least 600 a year. People ask me what's my favorite cake, and then I tell them, well, I don't really eat cake. I taste my cake, but that's about it. I don't eat cake just because I'm around it all the time. But if I'm going to have a piece of cake, it's going to be carrot cake. This is a level, and a little bubble will go in the middle when it's level. If it goes too far one end or the other, it's not. All right, we're done stacking. Yay! Nothing else as far as work experience has given me as much joy as this has. You can work with people during the happiest times of their life, their wedding, birthdays, anniversaries, graduation. People are always happy when they're getting a cake, so that's what makes it so great. And when people come back to you and they say, oh, my cake was so good, and you should have heard all the people, you know, say that the cake was just great and was so pretty. I mean, it just makes your day. So I can't imagine doing any other type of work except this.
Well, that's all we have on Prairie Pulse for this week. And as always, thanks for watching.
Funding for Minnesota Legacy programs are provided by a grant from the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4th, 2008, and by the members of Prairie Public.